let's go through it a little bit, little by little. The word adina in Arabic can mean two things. Adina ya'dhanu idhnan and adhnan or adhanan. Idhan means permission, and adhan means to listen. Like udhun is the ear, right? So adinat li rabbiha, one of its meanings is that the sky is actually going to pay a close ear, pay close attention and listen carefully to its master. Adinat li rabbiha. Implied within the meaning, why is it different from sami'at li rabbiha? It also listens to its master, right? Or ata'at rabbaha, it obeys the master. Even also because it has kind of the texture of permission, it's as though, just to make it easy to understand, sometimes I give somebody, a student, an instruction to do something they don't want to do it, right? But then there's a student that has been asking me, hey, I want you to do an extra credit project, you promised to give me an assignment, and I don't give it to him, and then I don't give it to him, and finally I give it to them. In other words, when I gave the instruction, they were already eager to follow. They've been waiting to hear the permission to do what they've been wanting to do. You understand? Simpler example would be children asking for recess or a break. Can we have a break now? Can we have a break now? Can we have a break now? And finally, when the permission is given, they listen to the words of permission and they can do what they want. It is as though the sky tearing open is actually what the sky has been wanting to do. And it's been holding itself back because it didn't hear the words of permission from Allah. Allah didn't say, not yet. Allah kept saying, not yet, not yet, not yet. And it's just desperately waiting for those words to come from Allah. Adinat li rabbiha. It's a very scary thing to think about. This theme in the Quran, that nature, as we know it, is actually a wild beast that wants to just tear things apart. And the only reason it's being held back is because Allah hasn't given it permission yet. The earth acted word to Allah. The heavens are shaking, but they are held together because Allah won't let them tear open. So other creations of Allah, they only tolerate obedience. Why is it that it's waiting to be torn open? Why does it want to destroy itself so badly? You have to understand something. You know, when you experience trauma, like I'm reminded of the example of Maryam salamun alayha, when she gave birth and she wished that she was dead. I wish I was dead before this happened. When you see experience a traumatic thing and you're going to be accused and humiliated, etc., you'd wish for death over that. The obedient to Allah, the skies that are in tasbih of Allah, sabbaha lillahi ma fi samawat wa ma fil ard. All things in the skies and the earth declare Allah's perfection. When the sky watches us, because the sky is a witness over us, when it watches our evil deeds, our sins, and our shirk and our kufr, then it actually reacts. And it wants to react. Sometimes Allah lets the earth react just a little bit. So Allah says, ظَهَرَ الْفَسَادُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ بِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِي النَّاسِ. That corruption came out in the land and in the sea because of some of the sins that people have earned. Not all of them. If all of them were earned, then the day of judgment would begin. But the earth can't hold it, can't tolerate it, and it has some eruption because of the sins of people on the earth, right? And just to qualify that, that doesn't mean if there's an earthquake that happened in Pakistan, it's because of the sins of people in Pakistan. That's not what that means. The earth reacts anywhere because of the sins that are happening anywhere. We don't make a correlation between those things. Oh, they had a flood because they were really bad people. We don't do that. The days of natural disasters, what we call natural disasters now, being a punishment on a home or a nation, those days are over because that was only in the times of prophets. You cannot make that statement now about any disaster that happens. These are all tests from Allah, but calling them adab is a mistake. That is not the same as calling them adab. That is a mistake. Allah's book with it. Hey guys, you just watched a small clip of me explaining the Quran in depth as part of the Deeper Look series. Studying the Quran in depth can seem like a really intimidating thing. We're establishing a masjid. Allah will give you up to 700 times more in return on the day of
بكت عيني بكت عيني بكت عيني على ذنبي وما لاقيت من كربي.
The opposite of riyah is also a problem, and it would not be fair to talk about riyah, showing off, without talking about the flip side, opposite, and that is to avoid doing the good deed out of a fear of showing off. So you're at a fundraiser and you want to give $1,000. Then you remember my talk of today, and you say, no, let me close the checkbook and put my pen back. And then all of the ICNA guys are going to come to me and say, Sheikh, what did you do? You ruined the whole fundraiser. They didn't want to give anything. So I have to put this disclaimer on as well. And that is, if you were to want to write a check, you wanted to write that donation, you wanted to do something good, and then you realize, oh my God, I might be showing off. And then you close the checkbook, or you sit down and don't pray, or you don't build the masjid. You know what? In the end, shaitan has won. Because you didn't do the good deed. And that's the goal of shaitan, that you don't do the good deed. And the opposite of riyah is its own type of failure. We don't call it riyah, but it is a failure. Shaitan wins in the end of the day because you didn't do the good deed. The believer does not shy away from this battle against shaitan. The believer is always going to be battling shaitan. So, when you feel a little bit of showing off coming in, realize you're not alone. I feel it, you feel it, everybody feels it all the time. It's human nature to feel it. It is as inconspicuous as an ant crawling on a stone, as the Prophet ﷺ said. What is the solution? Get rid of it, cleanse it. Don't sit down and say, oh, I can't do anything, I'm scared of showing off. Don't continue and allow that evil to persist in your heart. No! Be a believer, stand up and face shaitan, face to face. Take your sword of Tawheed out. Take your sword of La ilaha illallah out. And you kill with it any shirk, any paganism, any idolatry. And get rid of any insincerity by turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says that it is good that deeds are given in public, and it is good that deeds are given in private. Both are good. In tubdu sadaqati fa ni'immahi, wa in tukhfuha, it is also good. That if you give charity in public, it is good, and if you hide it, it is also good. Both have their positives and negatives, and the believer has a healthy share of both.
فيا ذلي ويا خجلي إذا ما قال لي ربي أما استحييت تعصيني ولا تخشى من العتب وتخفي الذنب عن خلقي وتأبى في الهوى قربي مما جنيت عسى تعود إلى رضا الرب تعود.
Don't wish for the kinds of favor and the kinds of preference Allah has given some people over other people. So what happens to you and I is we see somebody that has more money than we do. They have better appearance than we do. They have a nicer car than we do. They have a better maybe married life than we do. They have, better, sometimes I've even heard, even among siblings, my sister has better complexion than I do. She's more beautiful than I am. Jealousy can take many forms. You could just envy somebody for what they have and become obsessed with why you don't have it. And it consumes you. And it could be the smallest thing, it could be the biggest thing. It could be things like money and material things, it could be immaterial things, it could be even the love of a father or the love of a mother. Why does dad love this one so much? I never get that kind of attention. She never blames him, she always blames me. She gets mad at me, but she's always nice to her. There could be, this kind of thing happens among siblings, and parents sometimes don't help because they keep reminding one of them, he's smarter, why can't you be more like him? And, create that jealousy even more inside a family. Allah Azza wa Jalla started here by saying, don't wish for what other people have been given by Allah Himself. There are preferences. In fact, there are people better looking than you and me. There are people smarter than us. There are people that are more knowledgeable. There are people that make more money. There are people in your family that get more appreciation than you do. It's a fact. That's just a fact. And sometimes it's clearly unfair. But in some of those things, it's simply Allah has opened the door of rizq for them that He didn't open for you. And He opened other doors for you. But what happens for you is you want the same things that somebody else has. Allah did not make you the same as anyone else. And Allah did not open the doors of provision, of rizq, for you that He opened for other people. Each of us has a unique set of opportunities. And we're going to have to work hard to earn Allah's favor from within whatever we've been given, not comparing ourselves to anybody else. Before I get to the rest of this ayah and the positive reinforcement inside of this ayah, I want to share with you why this is a root cause for many reasons. As a matter of fact, the first grievous rebellion against Allah that we know of in recorded history is the rebellion of Iblis, which is rooted in jealousy. That started, why does he get the attention? Wait, he's just made of clay. That's where that started. The first crime that ever took place on the earth, when humanity came on this earth, is the killing of Habil by his brother Qabil. That's also a matter of jealousy. This jealousy can be so heinous and so ugly that even when you are the son of a prophet named Yaqub alayhi salam, and your brother himself is a remarkable child, who even if you don't know is not a prophet yet, has prophetic qualities. It can lead you to the point where you're even willing to kill your brother. What I'm trying to get at is jealousy and envy are not to be underestimated. They may seem like something going on inside of you or inside of me. It's just a feeling that I have. It's just an itch that I have. Literally, by the way, al-hasad is actually an itch, literally a peel and a scratch. They describe it as an insatiable itch inside of the heart, like when some locust or bug bites your skin and you want to just keep scraping it. That it's this, and the more you scrape it, the worse it gets. You're just supposed to ignore it and let it pass. The feeling may come, but you have to let it pass. That's actually what hasad is. You know, Al-Hasan rahimahullah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said that I've never seen anybody who's a wrongdoer that looks more like the victim than someone who's jealous. You know, someone who's a wrongdoer has a victim, but in this case, the wrongdoer is the victim. That's what he says. He's the wrongdoer. He's doing jealousy, but he's the victim himself. This is why in one of the remarkable surahs of seeking Allah's protection, we seek protection of someone who acts jealously. وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ. We ask refuge from the evil of the one who's envious, especially at the time that he's demonstrating his or her envy, at that very moment. It's a very, very serious thing. It can lead to some very serious problems in my life and in yours. And I want to just count for myself and maybe refresh in my mind what kinds of blessings I may deprive myself of when I become a victim of jealousy. When I myself can't stop thinking about what somebody else has or what I wish somebody else had. And just to be clear, it's actually tamanni zawal al-ni'ma bidunihi. You wish that somebody else no longer had it. You don't just wish, okay, this one is so strong, I wish I was that strong. No. I wish they get sick and I get strong. You want them to not have it anymore. Why did they have it? Why did they? I hope he gets fired. Not only, okay, he got a promotion, I hope I get a promotion. No. I hope he gets fired and I get a promotion. That's hasad. You want you want to see them fail. Something in you just desires to see them come down, which it adds to your rizq in nothing. It doesn't add anything for you. But somehow inside of you, there's this feeling that if you can see them fail, or if you can see them suffer, it will make you feel better in some way. That's what hasad. I hope you guys enjoyed that video clip. My team and I have been working tirelessly